When I finished college, I taught English in China for 2 years. Many people ask me, why China? There were many reasons, but I understood most of them only in retrospect. As a student, I lived in Paris for 1 year. France was wonderful. I spoke the language and was in a capital city with many expats and locals, with only slight culture shock. I now wanted to immerse myself in a completely different world, so I looked further, to Asia. I got a job in a college teaching English. You could say that this was the easy part. My students were happy to be learning English, and learning with me was fun and interactive. The difficult part was getting used to the cultural environment. I was shocked at how many people there were, none of whom I could communicate with. I could not understand anything around me. I took pictures of my washing machine and painstakingly drew the characters in an online dictionary to figure out how to wash my clothes. Ordering food in a restaurant was almost impossible. I stared at menus, unable to read them, and was grateful when pictures accompanied characters, because even when there were English translations, they were not always very clear. And I knew propaganda when I saw it, even though I couldn't read. I searched the city for other foreigners and was relieved to make friends. Little by little, I started learning Chinese, beginning with the names of my favorite dishes. I tasted the most varied types of food and was fascinated at the varieties of street food. Barbecue, steamed buns, caramelized fruits, various dried fruits, and more. But some foods I just could not bring myself to try, no matter how much my Chinese friends swore they were delicious. It was interesting to see so many people creating jobs by transporting various things, by selling things out of their trunks, or by just setting up stands in the middle of the street. I was in a small city, so I saw how regular people lived, and their lives were not easy. People here did jobs that surely would be done by machines in many other places in the world. They were survivors, and I respected them for it. I was amazed that no matter how much they worked, people always found a way to socialize. The street is the place where people got together for food, games, music, and even holidays. As I got to know the city and culture, I even found some solitary places, away from the chaos. Gradually, I made friends with locals, and we developed a multicultural circle of friends. I watched and I learned. I learned patience and composure. I learned that Chinese is not the most difficult language in the world. It is actually quite logical and immensely satisfying to learn, kind of like a puzzle with the pieces fitting together. I learned about discreetness and the power of suggestion, that insinuation and metaphor is often more powerful than explicitness. And I learned that yes does not always mean yes, that smiles have different meanings in different cultures, that cheating can be fair. Through the contrasts and the similarities between the East and the West, I found what is human, what is universal. I was looking for difference, and what I found instead was more similarity than I could have ever expected. I got a little closer to the essence of what it means to be human.